What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. You know who it is. It's World of Wrestling here today to discuss about WWE Monday Night Raw, February 6th, 2023 review. This episode was pretty decent. It it was somewhat good, but kind of not. I mean, I enjoyed the interactions like Cody Rhodes and Paul Heyman, the conversations and the promos and all that stuff that took place on this show last night. But I have to admit to you guys, the wrestling, folks, the wrestling was very, very stale. And guys, as you come in, please don't be shy. Go ahead and hit that like button. It helps out the channel very much. Appreciate every single one of you guys. I'm in the best of moods today. Unlike what I was Sunday night, I was really in a fucking shitty ass mood. And I'm noticing that the stream is coming in a lot better than it was uh the other night. So this is looking pretty good. Feeling good vibes here. Feeling pretty good. Daniel says I'm here early. Well, thank you very much, Daniel, for showing up. Hope you're still here and everything else. Hope you guys enjoyed Raw last night, despite the way I felt about it. If you didn't, well, still hit the fucking like button. um. Anyway, guys, I actually the matches were just not working for me. I did not particularly care for the matches so much as the promo work. I think the show could have gone a little bit more smoother in the aspect of professional wrestling. There was one match that really shocked the hell out of me, though. It was Alexander and Shelton Benjamin versus Chad Gable and Otis. That was actually surprising as fuck that match turned out as good as it did. Um, so yeah, I am actually very happy with that match. And yeah, I think it was a very surprising matchup overall. Probably the better matchup out of everything on the show last night. Daniel says, "Are you planning to watch Elimination Chamber pay-per-view?" Yes, I am, sir. I watch every single pay-per-view by WWE as well as AEW. The only ones I can't seem to catch is Ring of Honor, and that's because I can't afford all of that shit. I did hear that they are going to allow anyone who's an Honor Club subscriber to their streaming platform for Ring of Honor. They will go ahead and allow you to watch the next coming pay-per-view, which I believe is Supercard of Honor. I think that is taking place March 30th, possibly. I'm not sure. Matt 87 Eagle says wrestling mark. What am I a wrestling mark of? Just wrestling in general or a specific promotion? I'm not quite following what you're saying, Matt. Please clarify. Anyway, guys, let me go ahead and pull up on my handy dandy cell phone here of the pay-per-view. Or not the pay-per-view, the Raw episode from last night. So we can go over the entire episode, wrestling in general. Okay, Matt. Thank you for clarifying that. Good sir. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Daniel says, no, I guess you could say World of Wrestling is more of a modern day wrestling god than Baron Corbin ever was. That was actually one of the better things on the show last night. Baron Corbin, JBL did the best thing he possibly could have done for his career, is telling that guy to go fuck himself, basically, in that promo last night. That was fucking fantastic. I love that one. That was really good. I have to admit, that was unbelievable when he just told him to go piss off. I absolutely love that. I thought that was excellent. All right. Let me pull this up here. Main event actually last night uh was the steel cage match between Becky Lynch and Bailey. That match was whatever, not a big deal. Um Matt 87 Eagle says you can't polish a turd. Yes, that's what JBL said. That was a really good line to close out that segment. I thought that was excellent. Absolutely loved it. Anyway, guys, let's get things started, shall we? We're in Orlando, Florida, Amway Center, where the Orlando Magic play. Oh boy, they're a great basketball team here in the state of Florida. Quit jerking yourself off, please. Bad for your health. Anyway, the Raw video plays, and we go live into an arena to see a big pyrotechnics display, and Edge's music hits, and the WWE Hall of Famer, a couple of Edge and Beth Phoenix, make their way to the ring to a huge ovation. Edge runs all around the arena, getting fans fired up, taking selfies, which actually, by the way, was very cool. I really enjoyed watching that. That was actually cool that he took a picture with a fan. Um, and signing autographs. His wife beams with pride watching her husband from the ring. And a video package shows as Edge says, "I quit" to save his wife, losing to Finn Balor at WWE Extreme Rules after Rhea Ripley threatened to give Beth Phoenix a concerto. And Rhea Ripley actually wound up doing it anyway. In January at the Royal Rumble, Edge and Beth Phoenix returned and attacked Baylor and Ripley. Edge and Phoenix are in the ring. Edge greets Orlando and has to bring his heart rate down after watching that video. "It's so damn good to be back." Edge refers to himself as the king of comebacks, which truthfully I think that's a legitimate fact. Anyway, moving on here. Edge says he's here because of the Judgment Day. Judgment Day is his fault. The idea was to try to elevate talent that he truly thought deserved it. It worked. All of the Judgment Day are in a better place than they were a year ago. Finn Balor is operating on a level he's never seen before. Damian Priest has proven he's a workhorse that can go against the very best. Rhea Ripley went from number one to outlast everyone in the Royal Rumble to go to WrestleMania against Charlotte Flair. And Dom's there too. Like he's doing much. He's actually kind of the weak link of the entire group, in my opinion. But that's just me. Anyway, for the last year, they've battled back and forth to get to Extreme Rules. Edge knew Baylor didn't have what it takes to hurt him enough to make him quit physically. The minute he saw Rhea Ripley hit Beth Phoenix with the brass knucks and threatened her with the chair, he felt helpless. Edge is not used to that feeling. Edge gives the Judgment Day a golf clap for what they did. A light "you still got it" chant picks up, but Edge says he's never lost it. Edge says they made a bad problem worse. Edge is a cruel, vindictive, sick bastard who will sink to any level to get his pound of flesh. And the intensity that came off of Edge was unbelievable. He was great in this segment. Excellent stuff. Very emotional, full of intensity, something we do not have in WWE very often. We need more intensity. We need these guys getting mad. Something I used to remember back in the day when Hulk Hogan, even all these other wrestlers, some of them should be in like good moods because they're winning and they're not having any major issues, but they're always intense. They're always mad. They're full of anger and aggression. And that's kind of what we should be seeing from wrestlers today. We're not seeing any of that. Very layback, relaxed, calm guys, not really getting all flipped out and crazy over things. And yet there's no excitement. The excitement comes from the energy that the wrestlers project in their promos and what they do in their matches. In the matches, there's no intensity. You watch AEW. This is the one thing I love about AEW. You see intensity. You see these guys actually giving a shit what they're doing on these shows. They cut a promo. They are with emotion most of the time. Backstage segments, sometimes, I don't know. But whatever. Let me go ahead and read some of these comments by Matt87 Eagle and Daniel. Matt87 Eagle says Trish will be on Raw next week, probably. And he says, and Dom survived prison. Yeah, right. Daniel says, imagine Dom meeting former WWE star Nails in prison during his hard time. That's fucking hilarious. Him meeting Dom in prison. Boy, oh boy, Daniel. I think Nails would end up being a fucking. Dom would end up being Nails' bitch. That's all I can say to that. He'd be like, Mommy, help me now, please. Some shit like that. I don't know, man. But fuck. That would be very strange. Anyway, moving on here. So Beth Phoenix says she'll cut to the chase. If Rhea Ripley and Finn Balor have the stones and they're here to finish this, the Judgment Day comes out to the stage without Rhea Ripley. Finn Balor says he's noticing a pattern. Edge makes his triumphant return only for the Judgment Day to beat him down again and again. It might be time for Edge to say, I quit. Dominic Mysterio says they must have heard because word on the street travels fast. Mysterio has served hard time since they've been gone. Wow, that's supposed to impress anyone that you committed a so-called crime, quote unquote, and you're supposed to be some sort of badass and they're supposed to be intimidated by this? Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, moving forward here. Lost my spot. Oh, and the crowd boos Mysterio. Mysterio tells Edge and Phoenix to run along before he does something that he learned on the inside, just like he did to his deadbeat dad, who didn't make it to the Royal Rumble match. Damian Priest says Mysterio is right. Priest suggests the next time they beat them down, they make Extreme Rules look like child's play. After he cooks Angelo Dawkins, Priest messes his lines up by saying the Money in the Bank instead of the Elimination Chamber, which I thought was absolutely fucking funny. And he tries to make up for it by saying, Edge pisses me off so much. He makes me so mad. I'm so infuriated right now. And I'm just like, dude, you're not making anyone believe this shit. You fucked up your lines. Just accept it and move on. It happens. But he was trying to rectify it by making excuses why he fucked up. Before saying he hates Edge so much, he can't speak right now. Priest will go on to into the Elimination Chamber and win the United States Championship back. Mysterio says he wishes Mommy was here to watch what they'll do to Edge. Mama is busy promoting WrestleMania. Edge tells Mysterio to shut up. They don't know what they really want. The night Priest clotheslined his head off, he said he didn't want a leader, but he's following Baylor like a lapdog. That was actually good. I like that one. They'll drop each other faster than an ex-con Dom dropped his pants in the clink. That was fucking good too. I love that comment. And Edge can't wait for Rey Mysterio to snap an 619 Dom's teeth down his throat. And he said this was all fucking pure intensity. It was very good. Beth Phoenix cannot believe that Rhea Ripley isn't here because of the promotional appearance. Ripley isn't here because Beth speared her soul out of her body. Phoenix isn't here to talk. She's here to beat Rhea Ripley's ass. Since Ripley isn't here tonight, the rated R superstar Edge and the Glamazon Beth Phoenix versus Finn Balor and Ripley at Elimination Chamber. Balor asks Mysterio if Rhea is in. Mysterio says Mama is in. Balor accepts if they can make it into the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Daniels says Dom looks like a knockoff of WCW Conan. Oh god. I don't even care for Conan. Every time I watch WCW from back in the day on Peacock, I always skip his fucking matches. I have no care whatsoever for a Conan match. He was great as a manager for LAX and TNA, but as a wrestler, he fucking sucked. I couldn't stand his work. His work blowed. I just was never a fan of his stuff. I loved him on the mic. He was great on the mic, but his wrestling skills was dog shit. So that's just my viewpoint on that. Anyway, the Judgment Day gets in the ring. Edge tries to fight them off. Angelo Dawkins quickly runs down to even the odds. Dawkins knocks Priest out of the ring. Edge then delivers a spear to Balor. Mysterio backs up the ramp, but Montez Ford appears behind him. Ford puts Mysterio in the ring. Beth Phoenix gives Mysterio a glam slam, which was absolutely fucking awesome. Watching a woman drop a fucking grown-ass man on his ass was great. As she holds Mysterio up, he screams, "Mommy!" That was fucking great. And she slams him on his face. So, following that, and they go to commercial break, they come back. We have the Elimination Chamber match qualification between Damian Priest and Angelo Dawkins. This was a very lackluster type of matchup, not one of Damian Priest's best matches I've seen from him. Damian Priest, though, does win with the South of Heaven chokeslam victory and the 1-2-3 on Angelo Dawkins. Montez Ford actually, by the end of the show, does end up going ahead and is in a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber for the U.S. Championship, and he actually wins that match. So Montez Ford looks like he might become a singles competitor. I hope that's not the case because they still need tag team wrestling in this division because their division is still shit in my book. So earlier today, United States champion Austin Theory drove up in an arena with a Lamborghini. By the way, guys, this fucking Lamborghini looked badass as shit. I wish I had the money for a Lamborghini, man. Damn. That fucking Lamborghini looked badass as fuck. They then showed about Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn's segment from SmackDown this past Friday, which was really good, as usual. Bad Bunny won a Grammy Award. They congratulated him for that. We go backstage. WWE official Adam Pearce finishes signing Maximum Male Models onto Raw. Oh, God. Chelsea Green walks up and discusses her demands. Let me tell you something, folks. Chelsea Green was one of the worst things on this show last night. And she had multiple segments. 2 backstage segments with Adam Pearce, plus also a match that absolutely fucking sucked with Asuka. And it wasn't because Asuka sucks. It's because Chelsea Green is made to look like a fucking idiot. And I'm not particularly a fan of the whole setup with Chelsea Green. She is being looked at as a Karen, which I'm not particularly fond of this whole entire creative booking decision of Chelsea Green. Just let her be herself and let her wrestle, not go out and look like a goof. But that's just my viewpoint. She wasn't happy with her Belgian chocolate because she wanted Swiss. Oh my gosh, she sounds like a fucking diva. Green is not happy with not being in the Elimination Chamber. Pierce says she didn't last 5 seconds in the Royal Rumble. Green asks if she needs to speak to his manager. Green says she deserves an opportunity. Her family is in town and wants to be presented in the proper way. One call and she can destroy his job. Green walks off and Pierce looks irritated. Big fucking whoop on that one. Who gives a shit? Maddie7 Eagle says Green is selling the caring character, but I'm not all that pleased with it. No, neither am I, Matthew. It is basically a fucking pretty much a Baron Corbin failure. It really is. Baron Corbin and her are a complete failure. More Baron Corbin than her, because at least Chelsea Green has just come back. They could rectify it and change her gimmick. But Baron Corbin, he's a complete and utter failure all around. This guy is a complete waste of time. He is channel changing material every time he gets on television. And that's what JBL said throughout the entire segment backstage, which I thought was absolutely excellent. All right, so video package, Roman Reigns attacks Sami Zayn, da-da-da. Okay, great stuff. Cat Inkpen says, I chuckle that she took her hat off and there was a crown. Yeah, I didn't particularly care for that all that much. I found her whole operandi to be very annoying, but yes, I did see that. And yeah, I'm not a huge fan of her work right now. And that's because of booking decisions, not really her fault at all. So they show this segment that took place on SmackDown this past week with Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns. And then they cut straight to it. The Usos will defend the undisputed tag team titles against Braun Strowman and Ricochet. It's unclear if Jey Uso will actually show up. So there's some good stuff. Kat Ingpen says, I honestly surprised you saw it. Had to rewind to show my husband. Very interesting. Baron Corbin makes his way to the ring alongside WWE Hall of Famer John Bradshaw Layfield. JBL does not look pleased. Corbin will face Dexter Lumis next. So Baron Corbin has this match with Dexter Lumis. Very terrible matchup. Did not like this at all. I thought this was absolute garbage. I was not impressed with this whatsoever. Not that Dexter Lumis is a bad wrestler, but Baron Corbin is just dog shit. I really don't care for him. Don't like his wrestling ability. I think he's trash, 100%. So Dexter Lumis wins. JBL looks disgusted at ringside. Dexter Lumis celebrates in the ring with Johnny Gargano. Well, as much as Lumis can celebrate, is what the writer of this report says, which is true. I mean, he's not really the more excitable kind of guy, you know. He's just a guy that does his thing, doesn't talk, draws to tell a story, and that's it. So that's all that has to be said there. So Byron Saxton's backstage with the man Becky Lynch, and Lynch says, we're in Orlando, Florida. Oh, God help me. I need to get out of here. Quickly, can I get a time machine so I can fast forward to October so I can get the fuck out of here? I need to get out of Florida. Can't stand this fucking place anymore. Too many crazy people. But then again, there's crazy people all over the place. But what am I going to do? Anyway. So yeah, Lynch says we're in Orlando, Florida, where it all began 10 years ago between Bayley and Becky Lynch, where they started in NXT. 10 years ago, she also first met Bayley in the weight room at the NXT Performance Center. Bayley wanted to be great. The way she did that was by high-fiving and hugging people, as well as attaching herself to whoever could help her. Lynch also wanted to do what it takes to get to the top of the industry. Bayley did not like that. Bayley attacked her and separated her shoulder and brought her family into this. You don't talk about her family. Lynch has her in a steel cage match and has a card to play tonight. Now, I'll be honest with you folks. I gotta say, she didn't bring her family into this. She just made an insult. So if bringing her family into this would be in the sense of her like going ahead and attacking a family member, uh, having some male wrestler she's associated with attacking Seth Rollins in some capacity, that I could understand. But this whole thing with uh Bailey just saying some smack to get under her skin, I don't quite understand how that's bringing Seth Rollins into the picture. She just was insulting Becky Lynch at the end of the day. So, I don't know. So, Becky Lynch and Bailey will battle in the steel cage in tonight's main event. And then coming up next, Brock Lesnar will make his first appearance since being eliminated by Bobby Lashley in the Royal Rumble. I'll go over that in just a second. There's a few comments in the chat. Let me go over that. Matt87 Eagle says, at least it can be used as mulch. What can be used as mulch? I don't understand that, but Matt87 Eagle goes on to say, Corbin has zero value. Of course he does. He's shit. Daniel says, I'd be happy if they just release Corbin. Yeah, I would too. I don't see any value in him. I see more value in Karrion Kross than I see in Baron Corbin. Scroll up, you say. Scroll up to what? Talking about Chelsea Green? I don't understand what the fuck you're talking about. Whatever you say, Matt87 Eagle. Anyway, Brock Lesnar calls out Bobby Lashley. Brock Lesnar's music hits, and the WWE legend makes his way to the ring to a big ovation. I don't know about how big of an ovation this guy, whoever from WrestlingView.com, had to say, but I didn't particularly see a huge ovation. I saw it as a pretty normal ovation for Brock Lesnar. I've seen bigger ovations for Brock Lesnar in the past, and this crowd was just fucking dog shit. Just in my opinion. Truthfully, Orlando absolutely sucked big time when it come to making the show exciting for the viewing audience when it came to energy and excitement about the show. They were trash. Tampa knows how to fucking go ahead and get excited and make some fucking noise. Orlando apparently doesn't. So Lesnar is in his cowboy Brock Lesnar gear. Lesnar gets in the ring and listens to his ovation. Lesnar says he appreciates the reception. Lesnar says, good evening, Orlando. The crowd cheers. Did they catch the Royal Rumble? Well, I mean, unless you can't afford $9.99 a month. Oh, because you said shit. Okay, well, whatever. Did they catch the Royal Rumble? Unless they don't have Peacock and they can't afford $9.99 a month, there's something definitely wrong with their finances, I guess. The crowd says they did. Lesnar says he thought it sucked. Well, at least he had a sucky experience. At the Royal Rumble, Brock Lesnar got his ass thrown over the top rope by Bobby who? Bobby Lashley. Lesnar apologizes for not being on Raw last week. Lesnar had to get his head together. So Lashley finally struck a chord in him. Last week, he couldn't get Lashley out of his head. Lesnar tried to go hunting, but all he could think about was Bobby who? Bobby Lashley. Next day he woke up. He wanted to go ice fishing, but all he could think about was Bobby who? Bobby Lashley. Lesnar went for steak and couldn't help thinking about Lashley. Lesnar crawled into bed with his wife. Oh my God. Come on, man. You got Sable as your fucking wife, dude. How the hell could you be thinking about Bobby Lashley? Of all fucking people, you're with Sable in your bed. Are you kidding me? Get the fuck out of here. I wouldn't be thinking about Bobby Lashley. I'd be thinking about pounding the shit out of this girl I'm with named Sable. Holy fuck, dude. I don't care how old Sable gets. She's still fucking good looking. What the hell? And after about 4 or 5 hours, all I could think about was Bobby Lashley. Oh, he got to put the 4 or 5 hours in with his wife. All right, well, I guess I'll give him some kudos on that. Lesnar tried to consider what he could do about Lashley. Lesnar came up with the violent resolution. Yeah, I got an idea. How about we get an MMA fight in Lion's Den type matchup where there's no fucking script ending, and we actually see these two guys literally punch the shit out of each other and wrestle each other to the ground in a legitimate MMA fight. Can we go ahead and see that, please? These two guys are heavyweight fighters. They both have MMA experience. Can we see them in the final ever match where we could see these two guys literally knock the fucking shit out of each other with no script? I would love to see it. I've been talking about it for years. And still, nothing comes up. Nothing's mentioned about it. We can't get Dana White in there. I mean, Dana White would be a great guest on WWE WrestleMania. I'm dead serious. You would get fucking people clamoring to see that shit. Even if, I mean, well, granted, they don't have to. They're not on pay-per-view anymore. They're on Peacock, where you can practically see it for nothing. It's $9.99 a month, so who gives a shit? And yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. That's fucking crazy. But I would definitely have a match like that between those two. So it's a violent solution. In his $5 Damien jacket is a multi-million-dollar contract. On the contract, it states Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar at Elimination Chamber. Why are we getting a Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley at Elimination Chamber? Why aren't we seeing these two go at WrestleMania in a fucking MMA fight? Can we please see that, please? Matt 7 Eagle says Lashley versus Lesnar is just plain boring. Not if they're in an MMA fight with no fucking script at the end of all of it. Are you kidding? Those two guys would kill each other. Do 15 minutes of war with those two motherfuckers. 3 rounds, 5 minutes each. It may not even go the full 3 rounds. Who gives a shit? Let's see them kick each other's ass. Come on. I want to see that shit. Matt 87 Eagle also says, nah, this match is going to be a bomb no matter what they do. Oh, well, thanks a lot, Matt 87 Eagle, for being optimistic about something that might actually work, unlike the other matches they've had in the past that absolutely sucked. But thanks for the uplifting compliment there. Or comment, I should say. All right, so he says if Lashley has a set of balls, he'll get his ass out here and sign this contract. The almighty Bobby Lashley makes his way to the ring in a nice suit. Lashley says it's nice of Lesnar to grace him with his presence. Lashley wants to bring him down memory lane. Lashley pinned Lesnar in match number 1. Lesnar pinned him in number 2, but Lashley laid his ass unconscious as he walked out of the ring. The third meeting they had a face-to-face was at the Royal Rumble, and Lashley threw Lesnar's ass over the top rope without any problem. Lesnar gives him the contract. If Lashley's memory serves correctly, he'll do things on his terms. Lashley will take this contract to his agent, manager, and lawyer, and then he'll get back to Lesnar after taking it into consideration. Let me see here. Is Lesnar surprised that Bobby, who has one up on him? Lashley puts a finger on Lesnar's face, angering the beast, and Lashley goes to walk off, but Lesnar turns him around and hits an F5. Lesnar puts the contract on Lashley, and the crowd chants one more time. So Lashley obliges by giving Lashley a second F5. Lesnar celebrates before leaving the ring. And that's pretty much what took place there. We go backstage to see Johnny Gargano and Dexter Lumis greeting Candice LeRae. Nikki Cross is shown stalking her in the background, which I don't understand what the fuck that's all about. And LeRae asks who that is and finally notices Cross in the background. Cross runs off. Carmella makes her way to the ring, and an Elimination Chamber Fatal 4-Way qualifying match is next. This match was not all that entertaining. I didn't particularly care for it. Carmella won this match, obviously, because you got Corey Graves fucking being so being unbiased here in this fucking matchup with his wife being there, being a great journalist. Let me tell you, fucking bullshit. Anyway, we got Matt 87 Eagles saying a couple other comments. Nope, is Baron Corbin levels of garbage. Matt 87 Eagle then says WWE had one chance to get people excited about Lashley versus Lesnar, and they failed. Then they tried again and failed again. So excuse me if I don't give a fuck about these two either at the Elimination Chamber or WrestleMania. Okay, well, you have a right to your opinion, Matt. We're not debating this. There's no, major issue here. So pump the brakes and chill the fuck out. Okay? Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Anyway, let's move on. Carmella won the match. I didn't particularly care for it at all. Carmella joins Raquel Rodriguez, Asuka, Liv Morgan, Nikki Cross, and Natalya in the Elimination Chamber match itself. The winner will face Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Baron Corbin is backstage acting as if nothing happened. JBL looks disgusted. JBL says he's headlined WrestleMania. His Hall of Fame legacy has lost all credibility because of Corbin. Well, this was fucking great. Probably the best thing that JBL has ever said. Probably the best thing JBL has ever said in his entire career. JBL says Corbin is not a modern day wrestling god. He's a clown. Corbin says he can change and he'll do better. JBL says you can't polish a turd as he's already tried. And JBL walks off on him and Corbin looks upset. In the background throughout that segment was MVP talking to Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. And we then get Chad Gable and Otis against the Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin as the next match. So, by the way, Candice LeRae was walking backstage and holding her ribs. Piper Niven grabs her and threatens her. Mitchin runs over and breaks it up. Niven warns them that if they get between her and the Raw Women's Championship again, she won't be so forgiving. So whoop-de-doo there. I guess apparently we're going to see Piper Niven become the new Nia Jax. By the way, we haven't seen Nia Jax on the show. I think we might be very fortunate. Who knows? You never know. I wasn't a huge fan of Nia Jax. I'm not a fan of hers now, and I don't particularly see anything important about her or even relevant for her to be on the show anyway. She's trash. Anyway, Alpha Academy, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin in this tag team matchup. I enjoyed this match for what it was. Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander won this matchup. Shelton Benjamin actually did a Samoa drop on Otis, which was very impressive for a big guy like Otis being on the shoulders of Shelton Benjamin and him being able to execute that move with ease practically was very impressive. I have to give him a lot of credit there. And then Cedric Alexander hitting his lumbar check maneuver on Chad Gable was great. My only problem with this matchup was that Chad Gable and Otis had to lose this match. I didn't particularly like that part, but I did like the overall performance by both teams in this matchup. This was really entertaining stuff. Probably the best match on the entire show, which is kind of sad because they had a lot of matches on this show and the matches didn't seem all that big of a deal. I mean, if we were to go back and actually watch these shows, let's say we were interested in watching this episode and we watched try to watch this show, we'd be skipping through most of the matches and only be paying attention to uh the actual conversation, the promo segments, really is all we would be watching throughout the entire replay of the show. So honestly, this episode was not exactly good when it came to professional wrestling, but when it came to promo work and hyping up matches or hyping up the pay-per-views and shit, they did a good job there. I will give them that. All right, so MVP celebrates with Alexander and Benjamin. Replays are shown of Rick Boogs defeating The Miz in an unannounced matchup last week. Kathy Kelly is backstage with The Miz, another wasted out piece of talent on this show. Miz is waiting for an appointment with WWE official Adam Pearce. Miz is presenting him with a bill for his $10,000 suit that his wife bought him last week. Oh, gosh. How humiliating. He's sitting there telling the world that his wife bought him the suit instead of himself, as if he doesn't have the capability of buying his own fucking clothing. Wow. So Rick Boogs comes out of the office upsetting the Miz. And Miz says he'd have beaten Boogs last week if Adam Pearce wasn't an incompetent manager. Pearce comes out of his office as Miz says this. Pearce says Miz will face Boogs next week on Raw. Boogs is fired up, and Chelsea Green walks up and says she's heading to the ring and demands an opponent, or she'll call Pearce's manager. Wow. Big deal. All right, so Matt 87 Eagle had to say we're planting seeds to getting the Hurt Business back, so that's fine with me. Yeah, I don't mind the idea. And Cat Inkpen says, I swear to God, every time I hear Rick Boobs, I really think I really hear Rick Boobs. Someone's got their mind in the gutter. Matt 87 Eagle says, I wouldn't be surprised if the Hurt Business jumps Lesnar at Elimination Chamber. That probably might happen. That might be the building block towards their match for WrestleMania. And that's why we will probably see them face each other again, which I don't particularly want to see again after they've had their final encounter. Their final encounter should be at WrestleMania. There shouldn't be no matchup at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view itself. But whatever. It is what it is, I guess. Anyway, we got Chelsea Green versus Asuka. I like Asuka's new getup, her new wrestling attire, her face paint and all that shit. It looks really cool. It looks like a female version of Great Muta. Looks like I believe that's how she used to have her face paint back in New Japan Wrestling or some Japanese promotion at one point when she was wrestling in Japan. Asuka wins this match, no doubt. I didn't have any belief that she was going to lose that match. And they had all the winners of the Elimination Chamber in the matchup to begin with. So, or the competitors or participants in the matchup. Raw's Women's Champion Bianca Belair comes out to the stage. Belair tells the women to get a good look. What she sees are 6 top tier women in WWE. But who has what it takes to win inside the Elimination Chamber? Who has what it takes to go one-on-one with the EST of WWE? She was in their positions last year. She knows what it takes to win the Elimination Chamber. That's how she got the title. No, she did not. She won the Royal Rumble. She did not win the Elimination Chamber. Or not. Oh, Wait, last year. Huh. Last year was 2022. I'm thinking of 2021. Uh, did she win? I'm trying to think here. What the fuck? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Who won the Royal Rumble for women's 2022? I'm gonna go check this out. I forgot who the fuck it was. Oh yeah, it was Ronda Rousey. Yeah, that's it. Ronda Rousey. She came out as number 30 and had a humongous booing fest by the audience when she came. That was a lot of fun. Very enjoyable stuff. Ronda's run in WWE this through 2022 was by far one of the worst. I thought it sucked. Anyway, let's continue here. So that's how she got the title. Belair wishes them all luck because whoever makes it out, she'll be ready to see them at WrestleMania. And she points at the sign. What is this thing with everyone having to point at the WrestleMania sign? Has anyone ever figured that out or question that themselves? Like, I literally am sitting here going ahead and saying to myself, what the fuck do they got to point at the sign for? What's so fucking impressive about doing that? Oh, I'm gonna point at the WrestleMania sign, guys. Yeah, WrestleMania. Let me point at the sign. Sure. The fuck? Who cares? We know what you're talking about. You don't need to point at the sign while all the idiots in the crowd go ahead and look up and go, yeah, they're pointing at the sign. We know where we're going. Come on, man. What the fuck? What do you think we are? A bunch of idiots? Don't answer that. All right. Next, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, who is also the 2023 Men's Royal Rumble winner and heading to the main event of WrestleMania against Roman Reigns, makes his way to the ring. Rhodes gets a great ovation. A Cody chant picks up, and Rhodes asks what they want to talk about. Rhodes used his time last week to talk with respect about his WrestleMania opponent, the Tribal Chief. And best in the world, Roman Reigns. The crowd boos Roman Reigns' name. Oh yeah, this was definitely the best segment, Matt. 100% agree with you on that. This was excellent. Rhodes' path is straight, but the destination is a bit foggy. The current champion is putting the titles on the line against a guy who has kicked up all the dust and is going to his hometown to face Reigns in Sami Zayn. A Sami chant picks up. It looks more and more like looks more and more like at WrestleMania that he'll be challenging against Sami Zayn again. Rhodes says with the utmost respect. Rhodes wishes Zayn the best of luck. May the best man win. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Paul Heyman, folks. Paul Heyman, the special counsel to the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, comes out to the stage. Heyman introduces himself as a special counsel and the wise man. Heyman asks for permission to get in the ring, which Rhodes grants, and Heyman says what Rhodes may one day find out in his life, and hopefully not at Heyman's expense, is that life at the very top in this industry requires an understanding that the only weak busser than the week leading into a major event like the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania is the week coming out of a major event. Heyman and the Tribal Chief have had a lot on their plates. On the island of relevancy, they want to congratulate Rhodes on winning the 2023 Men's Royal Rumble match. Heyman shakes hands with Rhodes. Rhodes smirks, waiting for the shoe to drop. A Cody chant picks up, followed by a light "You deserve it" chant, and Rhodes knows his father and brother had a nickname for Heyman. Rhodes says that he will call him Mr. Heyman. Rhodes has unparalleled respect for him, and Heyman knows why. If they're going to pull back the curtain a little bit, they might as well pull it back for the people in the attendance and at home. The year was 2000. Wow, 23 fucking years ago. Man, wrestling was so awesome back then. The till in his family had dried up a bit. Hard times became more than just a promo. His family went broke. How the fuck they went broke, I have no idea. And there was $100 in the bank. His father was doing local car commercials, not for the money, but to keep the car. And then Dusty Rhodes got a call from Heyman. And Heyman told ECW was in town and Steve Corino would talk smack about him. If Rhodes would appear on camera, he'd pay him well. An ECW champ picks up, and Heyman kept his word. In addition to the money they solely needed, ECW gave his father his confidence back. Rhodes can never repay him for that and thanks Heyman for it. A lot of love and respect going back and forth between this entire promo, but things go a little bit south, as you see in the headline of this video. Things were a little bit personal in this promo, but things went kind of south after that. So turning the clock forward, before he was back here, he was causing trouble from one disruptor in this sport to another. Heyman showed him the way. Rhodes thanks him again. Heyman wipes away the tears from his eyes. A thank you, Paul chant picks up. Heyman says Rhodes is good and caught him off guard. Heyman came out here to schmooze a little business, but Rhodes got him personally. Heyman takes a deep breath and the crowd cheers him. They're going to peel it back and shoot from the hip. Let's go all the way then. This isn't about Heyman. With all due respect and acknowledgement, this isn't about Rhodes' dad. This is about Cody. This is about everything he's fought for to get back here. Win the men's Royal Rumble and main event WrestleMania. Winning WrestleMania is a whole different story. Just getting there is a long road for the nightmare of coming so close. Rhodes isn't just main eventing WrestleMania. Rhodes is trying to take away the greatest box office attraction and champion named Roman Reigns. That's not an easy task for a mere mortal. Will Rhodes crumble and self-destruct because no one prepped him for that? Down the road is the WWE Performance Center, at the very Performance Center, Cody's father, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, trained and prepped the biggest stars of this generation. Cody's father trained and prepped Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, Bayley, Kevin Owens, and Roman Reigns for the highest level of success. Rhodes' father did not train or prep Cody, though. Rhodes looks emotional. Heyman says, as a father, he could counsel Rhodes. Maybe his father wanted him to make it on his own and step out from the shadow of the national monument. Maybe his father wanted Rhodes to step out and be the guy that wins the Royal Rumble and beats Roman Reigns. Heyman cannot convey in words how much he loved Cody Rhodes' father. Heyman can tell Cody that his father truly loved him. Heyman gets emotional as he says something personal. In his last conversation with Cody's father, Dusty Rhodes told him that Cody Rhodes was his favorite son. Rhodes takes a deep breath to contain his emotion, and Heyman says that Dusty said that Roman Reigns was the son he always wanted. Heyman drops the microphone and smirks. What a fucking dick. Wow, that was fucked up, man. Really, that was fucked up. Anyway, let me go ahead and read some of the comments in the chat by Matt87Eagle. Matt87Eagle says, you could see Cody and Heyman trying to hold back their tears. Yeah, it was a very emotional conversation those two were having. But how they ended it was fucking great. It's important that the story focuses on Cody and not Dusty. Yeah, 100% agree. That's kind of, I think, in the sense what they did with Ric Flair and Charlotte Flair back in the day when she first started getting into the main roster. Um, in 2016, 2015, they were too focused on Charlotte Flair being the daughter of Ric Flair. So I kind of get where you're coming from, and I don't think they should do the same thing here because that's really gonna kind of give people the wrong idea about Cody Rhodes. That he's just getting it because he's the son of Dusty Rhodes. So an irritated Rhodes steps up to Heyman. Heyman begs him off or begs him off and says he's just conveying a message. Rhodes violently grabs Heyman's hand. Rhodes says he's just trying to win a wrestling championship and everyone wants to make it personal. Heyman won't pay for it. His boy Roman Reigns will pay for it at WrestleMania when he takes those titles personally. Rhodes shoves the microphone into Heyman's chest and rolls out of the ring. Fucking great shit right there. Loved it. Elimination Chamber qualifying match was next. We had Montez Ford versus Elias. This was a joke match. Montez Ford won this match with no problem. I mean, there was a little bit of competition, but not by much. So Montez Ford is the final entrant into the United States Championship Elimination Chamber match. Ford joins the champion Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, and Damian Priest. Austin Theory poses on the commentary table and holds up the U.S. Championship. All of a sudden, Seth freaking Rollins chop blocks him to the floor, and Rollins then gives him a stomp on the floor. Rollins dances around and heads to the back. Bayley is talking with WWE Tag Teams, WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Dakota Kai and Io Sky backstage. Kai is on crutches from the attack by Lynch last week, and the steel cage match is next week. Or next, I mean. And then the main event was the steel cage match with Bayley and Becky Lynch. Not much more to speak there. Bayley loses this match, I believe. Yeah, Becky Lynch won. Yeah, Becky Lynch wins with a manhandle slam for the victory at the end of the matchup. Lita actually got involved to help out with the interference that was taking place at the end of this matchup, and that's how the match went off the air. Lita has actually gained some weight. She does not look in wrestling shape. I think last time she wrestled was 2 years ago in 2021, I believe. And she had a match. I believe it was with, trying to remember who it was. I think it was Becky Lynch. Yeah, I think it was Becky Lynch who she faced in 2021, I believe, or it was last year's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. I'm not sure which one it was. Let me just take a look here. I'm going to look at Elimination Chamber pay-per-view from last year. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, so the results. Yeah, Becky Lynch did face Lita in a one-on-one match for the Raw Women's Championship. Last year's Elimination Chamber. I thought it was 2 years ago. So in 1 year, she really did put on some weight. Last year, she didn't look that overweight to me. Still, she looks great, looks wise and everything else, but wrestling shape, I don't think she looks too good at wrestling shape wise. She looked like she needs to go back to the gym and get rid of some of the weight that she put on during the time off that she had from last year. But I'll be honest with you. Um, I didn't particularly care for the wrestling performances here tonight, or last night, I should say, but the promo work by everyone involved on this show was excellent. Was the show insulting to your intelligence? No, I don't think this was a very bad show, but I don't think it was wrestling quality wise the best of shows that I've seen from WWE in the past. Just my viewpoint. But that's pretty much it, guys. If you guys have any other comments you'd like to say before I close up shop here, by all means, go ahead. If not, I would like to say, if you enjoyed this video, by all means, go ahead and hit the like button if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and leave a comment down below. I thank you very much for tuning in, and I will definitely reach back out to you guys for any comments you have to say in the video. And I thank you guys again for showing up. Oh, and Cat Ink Pen. Okay, we got two more comments, and then I'll let you guys go. Cat Ink Pen says, I don't know, Brock Lesnar referring to himself in a third person hurt my brain. Okay. And Daniel says, who will you predict to possibly be released for this year? I think Baron Corbin's the one that needs to go. I think he is definitely somebody that's not needed on this show. He's not entertaining. He's not great. It's not fun to watch. He's not good in the ring. He's good in any aspect, promo work wise, wrestling wise, character wise. None of it. He just fucking sucks dick. I wish he would just go away for good because he sucks. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I will repeat this again. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. And I thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great night, guys. Bye.